Hello everybody, how you doing? How are you doing? Today we're doing another tarot reading, obviously. Today I'm working with, what is this deck called? I've had it for ages and I absolutely love it, but I can never remember what it's called. The Wild Unknown Spirit, Animal Spirit deck. I usually just use this one between me and my friends because it's just, yeah, we catch bare jokes with it. But anyway, we have 3 piles here. We have the panther, the earthworm and the dolphin. We also have the element of fire, earth. I feel like that is earth. I feel like my mind just went totally blank just then. And considering it says earthworm, and then we have the element of water too. I don't know why my mind just went blank. That's crazy. Scary when that shit happens. But anyway, hey. So we have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. We're going to do some channeled messages and then we're going to get into the tarot too. And this is the Light Seers tarot deck. My favourite tarot deck ever. So yeah, guys, you pick your pile. Oh, and before we go forward, please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, and follow me on Instagram if you don't already follow me on Instagram. I do daily readings over there. So yeah, let's get into these cards and see what is happening and what is coming up. Is this going to stay up if I hitch it up? Like, yes, it is. Cool. So pile number 1. What is coming through for pile number 1? Pile number 1, I'm getting a lot of envious kind of energy around you at the moment. I'm also seeing that you could be in a dark space, or maybe you feel like you have to constantly defend yourself against something, which is understandable. If you feel like you're being backed into a corner, of course you're gonna fucking defend yourself. That's just normal. But I do see a lot of energy around you at the moment that I feel like it's more fear-based. I feel like it's not that they don't want you to succeed. I feel like what they're afraid of is that if you do succeed, that your connection to them will be finished. Like, you'll outgrow them. And I feel like they keep trying to like hold you back. But this is fire element. You can't hold back fire. I mean, you can put it out and you can try and tame it. But you know, they could also sit down next to it and catch some of that warm vibes, or, you know, they can back you into a corner and feel the wrath of a whole heap of like burning shit down kind of energy. You know, it's fire energy. You know, what do they expect? They back you into a corner, of course you're going to burn the house down. What? You know? If you are in like a dark space at the moment, I do see that, you know, there's this quote, right? And I love it, but I can never freaking remember it. And it says something that if you can't see the light in the dark space, then that means that maybe you're the light. Does that make sense? Like, if you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, maybe like you're the light. So just keep moving. Don't stop where you're at. It's okay to rest, and it's okay to, like, you know, eat, drink, look after yourself and stuff, but just don't stop for too long. You know, rest, but keep moving. Keep moving, because if you stay stuck, you're never going to get to the end of the tunnel. And I want to tell you this from experience alone. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Whether you're that light, or whether there's just light at the end of the tunnel, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. And I know sometimes, like, you're in such a dark space that you can't see the end of the tunnel, but there is light. And most of the time, you are the light. So just putting that out there, that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I do see like a lot of chest stuff happening. I don't know if it's like anxiety, or I feel like it's anxiety. I don't feel like it's a serious health issue. It might be. I mean, listen, I'm going to say go to the doctors anyway and get it checked out just to be safe. But I do see a lot of like chest pressure, and I do see a lot of like heavy, fast-paced breathing and anxiety type energy. So maybe like finding a routine that can help with that. You know, there's many things, like, you know, meditation doesn't have to be sitting up with your legs crossed, umming and stuff like that. You know, that's lovely, you know, it's a great experience and stuff. But some people find meditation in art or writing or dancing or whatever, reading, what, you know, like whatever brings your mind peace. Like that could be a good practice to bring into your daily routine. I will say, you know, you're very aware of the pressure that you're under when it comes to other people, and it's so easy to lash out. And if you feel like you have to defend yourself, like if push comes to shove and you have to defend yourself by all means, but don't match other people's energy in it. Because all that's going to do is, at the end of the day, you're going to lash out, and then when it's all done and finished, it's just going to contribute to how you're feeling at the moment. I do hear like heart chakra activation, which actually may be the reason why you feel those palpitations, and that feeling in your chest could be the activation of like the heart and stuff too. I'm going to see what the tarot has to bring to this as well. Let's see what the tarot has to say. The pile number 1. Okay, pile number 1, like stubborn ass energy. Let's get rid of that, because that ain't gonna run with me. Okay. Cards for pile, that's what I thought. Pile number 1, please. That's exactly what I thought. Don't play with me, honey. Don't play with me. I'm not the one, babe. You know, like that. One more card for pile number 1, please. I want to get all of this in, so I'm just gonna like do whatever. Can we see that? Yeah, we can. Hey, so pile number 1, we've got that conflict energy here, that conflict that we was talking about earlier. It does seem all ego based, and look, they're playing with fire. They don't know, they shouldn't play with fire. They're trying to reach for the fire, but they're just gonna get burned. Like, what do they actually think they're doing playing with fire, though? You know? Do you know what I'm saying? What do they actually think they're doing playing with fire? But I'm just going to say, it is a very ego-based battle. So I will say this, don't get involved. It's just ego. It's just ego. Let people fight their own ego battles. You stay your focus where you need to be. I do see an ending of a cycle here with this Ten of Swords. This is one of my favourite cards, by the way, because I just think it looks so freaking beautiful. Look at that. And remember what I was saying before about there's no light at the end of the tunnel? Listen. The sun is rising. Yeah? Birds, freedom. Barefoot, just beautiful energy. There's so much that lays ahead of you, I don't think you quite realise. I think you might think that this is it for you, but it's really not, because like you keep walking and you keep moving forward, and this Knight of Pentacles here, this is very slow energy, so it's not a race. You don't have to go fast, you go at your own pace, but you keep walking and you keep going forward. Like, you're going to see that like there's something very beautiful waiting ahead of you. Yes, there's still stuff that you have to work on first. You have to get yourself right before like certain things can be, you know, because we're magnets, right? We manifest 24/7. So until we can get ourselves right and how we feel about ourselves in a good space and stuff, we're probably going to keep manifesting certain things just to reflect back to us. But these things are meant to show you that, listen, this is what you've got to work on it, and then at the end of that you're going to see something pretty freaking amazing waiting for you. And with this Lovers card here, maybe, yeah, it could be a potential person. Oh look, there's heartache, there's Three of Swords underneath that. But I feel like with the Lovers card, yes, it can literally mean lovers, you know, but it can also talk about the balance between divine masculine and feminine. It can also talk about choices, right? And this Lovers card for me right now is really talking about choices. Making a choice and not to get involved in people's ego battles and taking a step back. Because I don't know if you may be a fire sign or you just may carry a lot of fire energy, but people will push you, and you have to know yourself enough to say, listen, I can tell you're trying to like push me. It's not going to work, honey. It's not going to work around here. Let them fight their own little ego battles. You stay focused on you. You stay focused on whatever it is you're trying to build for yourself and your journey and where you're going, because this ain't it. You have to make some serious choices, pile number one. Whether it is to do with love or whatever it is this signifies or represents or whatever for you, pile number one. There's a lot of choices I feel like you have to make. And there's no rush. This Knight of Pentacles here is saying to me, listen, there's no rush, honey. You do it in your own time. This guy, I love this energy. This for me in the tarot deck is my husband energy. Because this is just some, you know, that energy. Like, he will not move or make any kind of like rash decision. He thinks hard and well about what it is he's going to do, and he only invests himself and what he has into things and people that he knows, like he knows, you know. Like, he won't just say, oh look, there's Kevin down the road, I'm just gonna like, you know, whatever, hi Kevin, hi's cool, but are you really gonna like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this guy don't move without purpose. There's a purpose to everything this guy does. He's strong, he's stable, he's got a lot to offer, but he ain't gonna give that coin to anybody. He's not gonna give himself away to anybody. He knows what he has is sacred, so he don't just like hand his energy over to people. I do hear like planting seeds too, but yeah, I don't know how you took that. My mind goes to certain places in it, which I'm not going to talk about here because I'm just, a freak. But planting seeds, or have seeds been planted? I don't know. But there's just something about these seeds. Like, there might have been a seed that was planted, and like, maybe you're drawn to something, or you feel called to something. And if you feel like you're being called to something, then as I always say, if it feels like you're being called towards something, then research it, figure it out, find out what it is. Because if you're being called, or if you feel like you're sort of like, I don't know how to explain it. This is the thing, you can never really fully explain the spiritual stuff, like the calling. You just know you're being called because your just soul is being pulled towards something. It's just undeniable. But if you feel like you're being pulled towards something, research it. Look into it, see what it is before you make any harsh, fast, mad choices. You know, you do have choices to make, but we're talking about serious choices. We're not going to invest ourselves or our energy into anything that is not going to be serving or good for us. You know, we don't. That's not what this Knight of Pentacles is saying. So research it, look into it. If it still feels like it's you, and you get that like sense, that alignment, that harmonizing feeling inside you, then continue to research, look into it, step into it, do whatever, you know. There is an end of a cycle. I'm going to try and wrap this up before I start repeating myself. There is an end of a cycle here. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There are people around you that don't want to see you like get to the top, and I don't feel like they do, like there could be one or two envious people, not gonna lie, but I feel for the most part the fear these people have isn't so much that you're gonna succeed, it's more about your connection, and they're worried about that if you get to the top then they're gonna be left at the bottom and you're gonna forget about them and your connection, you're gonna outgrow them and all that kind of stuff. So there's that, you know. And when you go through these kind of situations, you probably will see that there's a lot more conflict happening around you. Make the choice not to get involved unless you've really got to defend yourself here with the panther. Don't get involved. You've got bigger things to worry about. You've got bigger things to worry about than this ego dance between someone, you know. So pole number 1, let me know if that resonated for you in the comment section below, and I hope to catch you guys in my next video. I'm going to see what's happening for pile number 2. Let's see what's happening for pile number 2. You have the earthworm, and you know what I instantly get from this card is that you're holding back a lot when it comes to not just who you are but your creative skills. Like, you've got all this inside of you, you've got all this creativity, you've got all these fantastic ideas, you've got all this amazing stuff that you're just keeping inside of you. You're not sharing it with the world, but it needs to be shared with the world, because it's a part of your purpose. Your talents, your gifts, that creativity is meant to be shared with the world. And I know you're holding on to it. Maybe you feel, you know, fear around people like mocking it or making fun of you or whatever it is. There's this fear energy around actually letting the world see whatever art it is, whether it's literal art or just yourself, whatever it is, you're holding back. And pile number 2, it's not about holding back, because what happens is when you hold it all in, you're going to explode. So this earthworm is like literally, I mean, look, all that creativity that's in the middle here and absolutely nothing on the outside. Like, all that creative, all those brilliant ideas, all of that fantastic stuff, just yourself, just even your own energy. Like, I get it. Like, you want to hold on to your own energy and stuff, but part of your purpose in being here is to share it, like to get yourself out there, to be seen, for people to experience you, to experience your gifts and your talents and all kinds of stuff. So pile number 2, yeah, it's time to, like, I'm not saying like kick the door off the hinges and let it all out. You can let it trickle out or whatever it is. Like, you got a lot of colour to bring to the world. And let me tell you right now, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the world at the moment and what's been happening, but the world needs it. The world needs you to express whatever this energy represents for you, whatever it is you're holding back, the world needs it. What if, like, you opening yourself up a little bit and letting people see this amazing stuff that you have inside of you, what if that changes someone's life? You know? I don't know if you ever watched the movie Lucy. I can't remember. I've watched it so many times, but there's still parts of it I still can't remember. But I swear in the end, someone asks her a question about knowledge. Why is she sharing all of this knowledge and stuff? And she says something along the lines of, because knowledge is meant to be shared. Like, you're not like, what is the point in knowing what you know? What is the point in having the gift that you have? What is the point in having these amazing things and never sharing them? That's not the purpose. The reason you know what you know, the reason you are who you are, and the reason you have the gifts that you have is because the world needs it. You're not meant to hold on to these things. You're not meant to hold back. You're meant to share it with the world. That's why you have them. The world needs it. The world needs you. I know that sounds like a lot of responsibility, and maybe it just triggered the fuck out of you, but facts are facts. You don't have all of this information, whatever that information represents, right? It could be a gift, it could be a talent, you might be a fantastic artist, you might be you know, a great singer or something. The world needs it. The world needs you. That's as simple as it gets. I'm not even playing, like, listen. Pile number 2. Listen. Listen. Did I not just say the world needs you? Did I not just say that? And here we have the world. And let's just take a look at this for a second. Can we see that my girl here, like these colours, my girl was wearing a dress. Like, she's showing up in the world. She's wearing all of this stuff that you're holding on to and that you might be afraid to express. She's like, I'm wearing this shit. This is me. This is what I have to offer. This is what I'm going to bring to the world. She's not afraid. And you see how, like, she's in that circle? And you see how, like, there's that circle there and you've got all that creativity there, but difference is you're holding on to it and she's expressing it, but she's still in this cycle. But you see how her cycle is the cycle of life? Whereas your cycle is, like, not, like, tied up, like, I'm not letting this shit out. The world needs you. I feel like that's all I'm going to keep saying is the world needs you. You have this amazing ability to make certain things happen, but not just happen, but I've got goose pimples just talking about it. It's nuts. I can feel pole number 2 that you have this amazing energy that could really change someone's life. Change your own life too. Let's not get it fucked up. Change your own life too. I literally have goose pimples, like, just looking and feeling this energy. You have something amazing to offer to the world. And the world, I'm going to keep repeating it because I keep hearing it being repeated. The world needs you, pole number 2. It's that simple. The world needs your gift. This magician. See, I'm getting all caught up in the feels. This magician, right? The alchemist. Listen. It's like I don't even need to just... The world needs you, honey. The world needs you. The world needs what you have. The world needs it, especially right now. You have a lot to give to the world. A lot. I mean, I can sit here and go, oh, the Knight of Cups, you know, there's a lot of opportunity coming in. And there very well might be. You know, we've got the Queen of Pentacles in her power. You know, my girl's journey to get to where she is has been a tough one. There's no lie in denying that. She's been through it all. She's lost everything and she found it all again. And then we have the magician in the middle, just like magical, just making shit happen. So we could break this down and make it like some basic bitch reading, but I'm not going to do that because the message just keeps repeating itself, is that the world needs you and your gift, pole number 2. It's that simple. Okay, for some of you, there may be a love opportunity coming in for you guys. Maybe a Gemini or a Virgo, Earth energy. But that just don't feel right, you know? I mean, it could be a thing, but the message is what the message is. The world needs you, pole number 2. And if I keep having to say it, sometimes you might not get it 1,000 times, but you might get it 1,000. It might be the 1,001th time that you hear it, that you get it. So I'm going to say it again before I move on. The world needs you and your gift and all of those ideas that you got stored up in your head, all of that love you have in your heart, all of those gifts that you have, all of that talent that you have. The world needs it, and the world needs it now. The world needs you. Okay, but I'm just going to leave it there because that's just like goose pimples just all over my body. It's madness. I'm going to move on to pole number 3. Let me know if that resonated with you, pole number 2. That's some amazing stuff you've got going there, and I really hope you do step out of that kind of like comfort zone, protecting yourself energy, because when I tell you, pole number 2, come on. Wow, my voice sounded really fucked up just then. I was about to say come on because it kept sliding. My throat was just like, nah bitch, I'm not having it. Pile number 3, let's see what's happening for pile number 3. You know the dolphin, like me and my closest friend, Aquarian Insight, if you don't follow her, she's fantastic. She told me about dolphins. I can't remember what the conversation was exactly, but we've had it a couple of times. And we was talking about dolphins. And I was like, oh yeah, but they're so cute and they're so intelligent. Imagine like, you know, all of that magic that's just under the sea because of dolphins and stuff like that. And then she was like, yeah, but you know what? Dolphins are dickheads. They're assholes. And I was like, oh. And she was like, when you research dolphins, like, they literally are dickheads. Yeah, they may be like magical creatures and they may, you know, have a really tight connection to the Atlantis and all of that spiritual stuff. And, you know, they can see, they have that x-ray vision or whatever, and they can see babies in the womb, and they can, you know, like if you're giving birth and you go into the ocean, like it's amazing stuff. But my friend was like, it was so funny, don't, like, you know, do your own research, but it was just funny that, yeah, when you look into it and what they're capable of and what they do, jokes. They are amazing though, I'm not taking away from that, they are pretty amazing. Pile number 3, let me get stuck in, listen. Ramblings going on here, excuse the coughing. I see a blessing. I'm not going to ruin any surprises. I don't want to open that box and see what it is for you, but there's blessings coming your way, pile number 3. I feel like you might even have a lot of healing energy, so people might be really drawn to you because you have a very healing aura. I do see like a lot of happiness just coming towards pile number 3. I feel like pile number 3, it's going to be like pile number 2, just a very quick, simple, like, I don't know. There's just like a lot of happiness that I feel coming towards pile number 3. If it hasn't happened already, it's going to happen pretty soon. And that healing energy that I keep picking up on, that might be something for you to look into if you haven't already. If you feel pulled to something, or if you've seen... I feel like you'll be pulled to it because it's yours. Like, you have that energy, so you will feel pulled to a certain maybe healing technique or something like that. You'll probably find that a lot of people are drawn to you because of that healing energy. But remember though, just because you're a healer, like, doesn't mean you need to like heal everybody. If people ain't willing to heal themselves, then sometimes you just got to mind your business, because if people ain't willing to help themselves, then there's nothing in this world that you can do with all that energy. There's nothing in this world that you can do to make that person heal or you whatever. I'm going to see what is coming in with the tarot. Happening for pile number 3. Ooh. Funny, because that card just came out and then I put it back because it was too soon, and it's just sitting there like, no bitch, I was meant to come out to you. Anyway, can we see all of these cards? No, we can't. Of course we can't. So let's have a look at what is happening here for pile number 3. There's a very spiritual energy around pile number 3. Very spiritual energy around pile number 3. And we can see that clarified here with the Hierophant as well. Maybe you're on your own little like spiritual journey, or like your own self-discovery with the Hermit here as well. Like, you could be on a journey of self-discovery at the moment. Maybe there's like this rebirth energy of, you know, like you're not the same person you once was, and now you're kind of like on this journey of self-discovery. And who are you now? Who am I now? I do hear like financial things, like it's going to get better. Obviously, like this is the thing, we all go through ups and downs, right? Especially if you're going through this phase of like self-discovery. Like, there could be a lot of stuff coming up for you that really affects your funds. You know, if your self-worth at the moment is low, or You know, if there's any kind of illnesses or anything like that that's coming up that's stopping you from being able to make some money or whatever, like there's always going to be a moment in life where like the money goes up and down. And usually that happens when we're not in alignment with something, you know. And the fact that you're on this journey of like self-discovery probably goes hand in hand with the fact that like your finances are probably suffering as well at the moment, pile number 3. But this King of Pentacles, like, listen, don't worry about it, because this journey is vital to where you're going. And when you get to where you're going and you realize again, like when you find yourself again, the King of Pentacles is here. He's like, listen, you'll be able to just kick back and things will just come easily. You'll just become this very, is it the Midas touch? Is it called a Midas touch? Everything you touch turns to gold. You're on that path of self-discovery, and when you know who the fuck you are, everything you touch will turn to gold. I feel like there needs to be like a better self-belief system, like believe in yourself. There could be a lot of like, I'm picking up like this thing around communication. There might be like a lot of communication barriers, because it feels like, because you don't really know yourself at the moment, you don't really know what to say. You know? Like, does that make any fucking sense? I hope it made sense. Like the stuff you knew before, like it's just, it doesn't feel like it matters. What's the point? Oh my god, I just realised something. Anyway, but there might be like some communication barriers at the moment, because like you're finding yourself, you're finding your voice again, you're finding the voice of this new version of you. Yeah, there's just like this strong energy of like finding your truth, figuring out who you are. I feel like that's like the message is really strong in finding who you are, like going on this self-discovery journey and figuring out who this next level of you is. Because the old level of you is kind of like, it's done its job. You know, like you're shedding the skin and you're stepping into this new version of you, and this new version of you feels really fucking vulnerable. I can see that. I can see it. You feel really freaking vulnerable. But if you keep pushing through it, there's just this energy of everything you touch will just turn to gold. There's a strong energy of that. But you'll only get to that point through yourself, through finding yourself again, through knowing who this new version of you is. I'm not going to lie, there's some weird kind of like funky energy with pile number 3. Maybe it's like an internal battle maybe that I'm picking up on, but there's like this funky energy of like, there's just like this, it feels like this battle, there's like a battle going on. Which is crazy, because I can't technically see a battle, but I can feel it. So maybe it's like an internal thing. Do you know what as well? I'm looking at this Justice card, because I was looking at this before and I was thinking, what is this card even trying to tell me right now? Because it doesn't feel like the standard justice meaning. But it's the reflection. I was looking and I was thinking, they're literally the same but two different people. You see the difference? The new you and the old you, they're two totally different people. No wonder there's like a battle. No wonder you're finding it hard to find a balance, because you literally are nothing like the person you once was. And that can be scary, right? Because you're so used to a certain thing, and, you know, maybe you might feel lonely, or you don't really know what's going to happen. But that's exactly on time. That's exactly how you're meant to feel. Because if you're really shedding this skin, it's a new you. If it's a new you, how are you going to know? You know? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's about self-discovery. It's about getting back into touch with like your own intuition and what you feel pulled to, what calls you, what are your passions. It's like really like rebirth. This is it. This is like being born again, having to learn about who you are again, what food you like, like just everything is just new. Like, what food do you like? How does your body respond to certain things? What's your mind saying? What's your heart saying? What calls to you? What doesn't call to you? What are you interested? Like, it's just a whole brand new. This old you is like, she's in there somewhere. She played a great part in your story, but she is well and truly like resting. Because if that part of you, that old part of you, continues, you will never step into the new you. So that part of you has to be put to sleep for a while. I mean, I'm not saying that part of you will never kind of resurface and you won't see that part, because that's you. That's still a part of you. But this new version of you, that old version of you has to sleep for a second. Because if that old version of you doesn't take a nap, you really ain't going to step into your true like potential and your power. So yeah, it's a little bit murky at the moment. You might be a little bit stuck in the birth canal, but listen. If only you knew what was coming. This dolphin energy of just like happiness and blessings and great things that are just on the other side of this birthing situation. Pile number 3, I'm going to wrap it up. There's some great things that lay ahead of you. You are in the process of a rebirth. Keep going. You don't need to stop, or don't worry about why it feels this way or why it feels that way. Just keep every little step that you take forward. Just keep taking those little steps forward. This really is like a death and rebirth for pile number 3. And the you that you're becoming, so powerful. So really, really powerful. I mean, look at this Hermit card. My girl's fucking levitating. Look at this King card. My man's just like sitting in abundance. He doesn't even have to worry about money anymore because money just flies into his lap. And then we have this guy here that's just so spiritually connected. He's laughing. You know? Like, he hasn't got a worry in the world because he knows on a level there's nothing to worry about. I'm going to wrap it up there, pile number 3. Let me know if that resonates for you in the comment section below. And I hope to catch you all in my next video. I love you guys. Bye.